Welcome back to the channel. My name's Mark Ashby of the Grill Marco cooking channel, and today I'm firing up yet again our Monument Grill's pellet smoker, and we're going to be cooking some of the most beautiful pre-cut beef ribs you've ever seen, and it's going to taste amazing too because we're using a new rub. Let's go to the kitchen. Let's get started. Here we are, chef's kitchen. You've seen it all before. You hear the dog walking in the background. Check this out though. This beautiful striations of fat in these beautiful pre-cut ribs. I found this at Publix, and look at that. This is gonna be so good. So they're already pre-cut. I've got the fat already trimmed down. That's the thing about beef ribs. When you're starting out smoking, there's really 2 or 3 things that you should be looking at. Pulled pork, because it's a very forgiving meat. Chicken, because again, hard to mess up chicken. And beef ribs. But there's a stigma for some reason about beef ribs, and I don't understand why. So we're gonna make it really simple for you today. I fired up my Monument pellet smoker on the smoke setting, and inside of it I got some Bear Mountain Barbecue mesquite pellets mixed in with some of the Royal Oak charcoal pellets as well. So we're gonna kind of get this nice smoky mixture going, and I'm using a new rub today. No, it's not a Cosmo Q, but it is Cosmo Q approved for this channel. Texas Brew and Barbecue Backyard Booyah. You can see it says brisket rub and seasoning. Look at all the granules in there. Oh man, and it smells amazing. It's from my buddy Ty over there at Texas Brew and Barbecue. Make sure to go buy the trio. It's $30. You can buy it on his website, texasbrewandbarbecue.com. And also, while we're talking about buying things, look at this Grillian Air hoodie. It is beautiful. And hang on real quick, check this out right here. Look, we even got sweatshirts. You gotta move the hair so we can see the pocket. Yeah. Sorry. Look, right there. Grill Marco, and then what does it say right there? Grilling so rare, it's well done. Boom. You can find those on the grillmarco.com website as well, along with this recipe that we're doing today. So seasoning is very simple on these rubs. We're gonna be using some hot honey as a binder. That's right, using some chili infused hot honey. And here we go. Just gonna spread it on. Now you don't necessarily need a binder for ribs, but I like to, you know, get different flavors going. So we're gonna use that hot honey all around, just spread it all around. You don't need it on the bottom because that bottom is all bone. Just make sure you hit all the sides. Rub it in with your hands. You can get more out of there if you want. You can use honey, mustard. Some people even use pickle juice. It's all the same. You didn't think you'd ever be in your adult life videoing a man rubbing his meat, did you? That's right.
Oh, honey.
I know that was a bad joke.
See what I did there, though?
Yeah. Oh, honey. Ugh. That was bad. Boom. Let me go wash my hands, and then we'll slap it with some of this rub, and then we'll go throw it on the smoker. I've got these in my Easy Tub here, which, again, another amazing barbecue product. And we've got our, I didn't do it with a booyah. Tricked you there, scared you a little bit. We're gonna take our rub, and we're gonna be very generous with our rub here. Oh yeah, baby. This is gonna create such an amazing bark. Beef ribs, you can treat them like brisket, but with this recipe we're doing today, we're gonna let them smoke on the smoke setting of our Monument Grill's pellet smoker for about 30 minutes. And then we're gonna bump that temperature up to 250 degrees and let them smoke for another hour. This meat is gonna shrink. It's gonna pull back, right? A lot of that because these are pre-cut. It's not a whole rack, but that's okay. This is just gonna be a really good meal, really easy, and these were on sale. They were pretty cheap. So beef ribs is not something I normally do because they can be expensive. Beef is expensive now. Look at that. beautiful coverage right here. We're gonna just roll it in there, make sure we get all angles of it, pat it in there. Now our smoker is still coming up to temperature, needs about 5 or 6 more minutes. So I'm gonna rub this meat a little bit more into the seasoning here, and then we're gonna let it sit for that about 5 to 10 minutes and let that meat sweat. It's gonna absorb some of that moisture, but that's gonna give us even better flavor as we put these on the smoker. Look at that. We got beautiful coverage. The meat sweat's going. Smoker's ready. Follow me outside. We're outside. Now, the smoke setting runs at 175 on the Monument Grill's pellet smoker. And I've got one rack in, and I got it one setting above the heat deflector plate here. Here's how we're gonna do this. Really simply, pay attention. Take your beef rib, bone side down, bone side down, bone side down, bone side down. That's it. It wasn't really that hard. I was just being a jerk. So we're gonna let these smoke in the smoke setting for 30 minutes because we all know pellet smokers can absorb a lot of smoke, but don't always. So I have some mesquite smoke pellets in there along with the Royal Oak charcoal pellets that should give us some nice smoky flavor. And we're gonna do this for 30 minutes starting now. 30 minutes is up. Let's take a look at these beauties here. Looking good, looking good. So we're not doing anything right now other than this. We're gonna grab our extended claws, make sure they're working, and we're just gonna turn them like that. Nothing else but that. If there's any kind of uneven cooking space in here, we want to make sure that we get all sides evenly cooked. That's it. Now, follow me over here. We take our dial and we turn it to 250 right there. And we're gonna let this sit for about another hour. We might spritz it. Not sure what we're gonna do yet, but we're just gonna leave it there. We're not gonna be looking because then we won't be cooking. See you in just a few. We've been letting them smoke for just over an hour now, maybe a couple minutes over, and it's still riding right at 250 here, which is beautiful. So we're just gonna take a quick look. You can already see they're developing a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bark on them. Now, I've got my spritzer here. We are gonna spritz them. And this is a mixture of pickle juice, a little bit of Worcestershire, and a little bit of beef tallow. That's it. So we're just gonna hit that up, get them nice and covered, just like that. There we go. That's it. And just for fun, we're going to check and see where they are because we're going to be pulling these off at 205. So let's check and see where we're at here. You can see. There's our Maverick thermometer there. It's sitting at about 140, which is about where we want it. So we're going to set another timer for 30 minutes. I'll come out and spritz again if needed, and then I'll rotate them 180 degrees just to make sure that we're getting even cooking all across. See you back here in 30 minutes. Another 30 minutes has passed. Let's just take one more look. They are looking gorgeous. That crust is setting in really nicely. You can hear it boiling. We're gonna go ahead and spritz it just a little bit more. Just like that. Just so they don't dry out. And then, next time you see me, they're gonna be done. We're gonna take them off and we're gonna let them rest for about 30 minutes. These aren't very big. If you have the bigger beef ribs, you probably would need to let them rest about an hour, hour and a half, something like that. Not with these are small, very small as a matter of fact. So we'll see you back here when they're done at 205 internal. We'll put them in the cooler for about 30 minutes, let them rest, get all that meat reabsorbed, all that Maillard fat reabsorb back into it and all the moisture in, and then we'll cut into it and see how they turned out. They've been cooking for a total of about 3.5 hours. The next step is braising them, which is really easy. You get a container like this. We're gonna pour. I've got bone broth beef flavor right there, and it's organic. We're just gonna pour that in just to the bottom like that. Then, look at these beauties. They already look amazing. Okay, look at that. Bones pulled away. So we're gonna take them and we're gonna fit them in here. Get all 4 of them in there. And they're gonna braise in this beef liquid. Now we're gonna crank up the temperature to about 350, and we're gonna let them braise for the next 30 to 40 minutes. That's all it should take. They should be perfect, tender, and juicy when all this is said and done. See you back here soon. We've been going at this almost 5 hours now, which is about right for beef ribs, but they've been braising. I know the temperature's right. Our timer has gone off, so we're gonna open it up. There is not much to see here. We're gonna turn off our smoker. We're gonna take this inside and let it rest for about 15 minutes. They have been resting 15 minutes. We took them out of the liquid, but take a look at this. We have some beautiful crust, some amazing color. Like I said, it pulled back, which is typical of a beef rib, especially short ribs like this. But now is the true test. There we go. Look at that. Look at how perfect that came out. We have an amazing smoke ring all the way around. We have beautiful color, perfect tenderness. Moist as all get out. Now, let's see how it tastes. Palms away. That rub is perfect. Look at that bite. Awesome flavor. Moist. These are probably the best beef ribs I've ever done, which I don't do very many of these. Like we said earlier, they're expensive. I just don't do a whole lot of them. These beef ribs came out a thing of beauty. Check out that one more time. Perfect. I'm gonna chop these up and devour the rest of them. Until next time, make sure you eat well, you do well, serve good food. See you then.